And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
The war erupted in 2003 when rebels attacked government garrisons, claiming economic neglect and repression. Khartoum responded by bombing villages and arming local Arab militiamen who came to be known as the Janjaweed, notorious for committing atrocities against non-Arab civilians.
The fighting in Sudan's Darfur region pits government-backed militias, known as the Janjaweed.
Government-backed marauders on horseback who continue to murder, rape, and terrorize villagers.
Tens of thousands of people have been killed.
The AU mission was meant to illustrate that African problems could be handled by Africans. Critics who charge that AU soldiers cannot protect themselves, much less Darfuri civilians.
My administration has called these actions by their rightful name: genocide.
The death toll in the Darfur region of Sudan has reached 70,000.
I think the international community is failing people in Darfur.
UN officials say Darfur is a tragic example of ethnic cleansing with what they call indicators of genocide.
An estimated 180,000 people have died in the fight.
300,000 people have been killed.
10,000 people a month are dying.
These people are in desperate need, and we must help them.
Arrived in Khartoum this evening, and the news is still the same. Darfur is the name on the tip of everyone's tongue. The newspapers on the airplanes said Arab militias were intensifying their attacks in the west, and that the northern government still denies any involvement. It's strange to think we'll be there in less than 48 hours, but that's where this investigation into what was happening in Darfur has brought us. And come tomorrow, it'll all begin.
Some 7,000 peacekeepers from the African Union are trying to patrol an area the size of France. The United Nations wants the Sudanese government to allow a larger UN force to take over in Darfur, but the government is resisting, and there have been anti-UN demonstrations in the capital, Khartoum.
Khartoum in Sudan, in this northern area, is known for harboring a lot of notorious people. Osama bin Laden made his home in North Sudan and in Khartoum at one point. Carlos the Jackal. Both of those two, I think, are probably the most well-known terrorists of modern day time, and both of them have come through northern Sudan. It is definitely still an Islamic state up here, even though you won't find as much of the women fully covered like you would in Saudi or in Afghanistan. But you will find it's very conservative. There's no alcohol here. If people open up their businesses during prayer times, they'll be fined or they'll be shut down. But they haven't really gone towards Shahiri law here at this time either, even though it's very Islamic.
Salam alaikum. Where are you from? America. America. Oh. Good. Oh. Hakumu wa Nazari. What do you say? You're the government.
Government, in any place, make this one,
to
hitting people, punishment.
What would warrant a person to get whipped?
If you do something bad, if you say that the government is so bad, don't tell anyone. It is secretly.
Last month, the main rebel faction in Darfur signed a peace accord with the Sudanese government, but the violence continues.